Hi guys, Scott here from Radio Shop. What we're going to do today is talk about the MOTOTRBO Repeater Diagnostic and Control application for MOTOTRBO repeaters, i.e. known as RDAC software. This software enables you to control your MOTOTRBO Motorola repeaters. It will connect to the master repeater. It will then show you the peers connected to it. It enables you to control the power settings and what channel the device is on, and it will also highlight any issues or faults with it. First of all, download the software onto your desktop. I would normally unzip this software and then I would install the application. However, what I've found is there's an error when I do it. It won't open. It keeps coming up saying the source files cannot be found. So what I've found the fix around is keep the files zipped and just install the Windows installer package. There are other softwares in here, i.e. if you don't have Net Framework on your computer or Visual C++, you can install these first before you install the Windows package and the radio drivers. So I simply go here, click on the software, follow the on-screen prompts. I've also had a customer who's purchased the multi-license key, which is HKVN 40418. This allows you to have the RDAC software up to 8 networks. So they wanted to know how to activate the license key. That's why I'm actually creating the video. So I'll show you that at the end. So what you're going to see is it's created a desktop in the corner, desktop icon. Simply double click on it. This is version 25.3 build free. It'll ask you to configure a connection to the master repeater. Let me just close that for a sec. I'll move it over here. So when you set up a repeater network, you normally have a master, then you have a peers which connect to it. Here's two code plugs. One's on CPS Legacy, one's on CPS2. Open the code plug up, and what you need is the link establishment details. This will give you all the information you need to connect the RDAC software to it. What I find is always open the CPS first before you open the RDAC. It'll enable it to open quicker, just in case your computer's a bit slow. There's the software open there. What we're looking for is the link establishment tab on CPS Legacy. If we go to CPS2, on the general tab, on the general tab, link establishment, here it is, here's the master detail. It's exactly the same on CPS Legacy. So what you'll see here is we have the link type, which is the master. This means this code plug, this is the master repeater. Authentication key, this enables link establishment between the repeaters. The master IP, which is the IP address of the repeater. Obviously you need it on a static IP, or you need to do port forwarding if you want to connect to your repeater if it's sat behind the firewall. UDP ports, as standard it's normally 50,000. We change it so it's just slightly harder to find it if anybody wants to try and connect to your network. Because in theory, if you've got the port number, the master IP and the authentication code, you can connect to someone's repeater network. So we take that information. Let me just close that one. Open up the RDAC software. Like I said before, version 25.3. It's now wanting us to configure it. All we're going to do here is copy them details into there. So I'll go to remote mode, add, type in your master, it's 217.37. Don't worry, this network's no longer in existence. Always keep them the same. Authentication key. It does enable you to copy and paste what you used to. 2 seconds. Yeah, so you got the IP site connect's what we're going to use. We've got the master IP address, we've got the ports which are correct, we've got the ID which is correct for the repeater, UDP port, and obviously the authentication key. We would now hit OK. It would now try and connect to that repeater network. Alright guys, what I'm going to show you is the RDAC software, just a general overview of the actual software and what features it has. Obviously we've shown you how to connect the master repeater. I will connect a network, I will show you it, but just a quick overview. IP address, UDP ports, any authentication keys. You see it's blanked it out like it would do on CPS 16, so you need to remember the key if you want to connect to the network. Obviously once we've entered it, it's alright, but you can't copy and paste that into another one, it just won't work. You've got to type it in. So here's your overview. A good feature it has is you can actually set up email settings, so you can set up a load of email addresses, and what it'll do is it'll email you if any of these alarms happen, which is quite handy. Yeah, okay, go to remote settings, hit OK. The biggest problem you'll have with it is always firewalls, so make sure you've allowed that port access through your firewall. What you normally have is you have your master repeater display along here, and then after a couple of minutes you'll then see all the peers appear. Yeah, the master repeater basically controls the networks, the peer will follow it. But then if the power does get disconnected, it is quite good because it'll work as standalone repeaters. I'll tell you the status of the device, the IP of it, your radio name, whatever you've named your repeater. It's just the rest of it's self-explanatory. The firmware version, this is actually quite good because if you want to do firmware updates, you can actually see what repeater is on what remotely without having to visit the site to do it. You can see what it's on. Yeah, I'll tell you the transmit power. You can adjust the settings. You can swap it between high and low power. Yeah, it'll also tell you if there's any alarms. Other options is set up your email with your SMTP servers. Just enter your details you would there, which you'll find from your internet provider, your mail provider. This will allow you to send the emails. If you don't do this, it won't send the emails to the alarms. Please make sure you test it as well after you do it. Yeah. The next thing you've got as well is that a whole log. It'll record all the error codes and everything, so you can see how often it's alarming, which is quite handy when you've got transmit power faults or receive faults. Because you can see if it's the same time every day, so whether it's interference from a site next to it or not. And obviously you can do your date range to select it and print it off or save it. Yeah, like I said before, so great help in case you're stuck. Explains what all the features are and functions of the actual software. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll get the master repeater out, we'll connect to the master repeater, and I'll create another video and show you how we do it. Like I said, please subscribe and please leave your comments below. What we're going to show you now quickly is how to add additional keys, i.e. the HKVN4041A license key, which allows you to have up to 8 repeater networks. Go to help, always go to Motorola software. If you're ever stuck, use the help bar. Go to extended features, registering an application fee, yeah, it'll tell you how you add it. So it's simply go to help. Here it is, register feature. If you want to view the features already associated with your computer, you can do that, and if you want to recover the features, you can do that. But simply hit register features, hit next. You need an internet connection to enter it. Enter your license key. You can purchase them from us. Have a look at the link below. It'll normally take 24 to 48 hours to get the license key back from Motorola. You then enter it here. Hit next when connected to the internet. What it'll do is connect to the internet. It'll then activate your license key. It'll then allow you to add up to 8 MOTOTRBO repeater networks along with all the peers. The software allows you to see the master repeater and its peers, control the power settings and the channel settings for each repeater. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and please subscribe to the channel to help it grow.